Samsung is set to launch its latest, greatest smartphone, the Galaxy S4, at an event in New York City this evening. I'm here at the Street's James Rogers. James, what can we expect from this big launch?
Well, I'm going to be heading up to Radio City Music Hall for the launch this evening, and this is a big deal for Samsung. It's enjoyed great success with its Galaxy line of phones. I've had a couple of them myself. Now, what are we expecting from the launch itself? Well, there's a lot of talk that we could be seeing a Galaxy S4 phone, which is basically going to have, a bigger screen than the previous version, maybe 5 inches compared to the 4.8-inch S3. An improved camera, maybe 13 megapixels, and a faster processor. There's also been talk that we could be seeing a Galaxy S4 Mini.
Now, we've been seeing a lot of weakness lately out of Apple. So what could this launch potentially do to Apple?
This could have massive implications for Apple. Obviously, these are two companies who are really going head-to-head in the high-end smartphone space. And if you look at some of the numbers that we've seen recently, like the research firm Strategy Analytics said that in the US in 2012, Samsung sold 53 million phones compared to Apple's 43.7 million. So, this is a very tight competitor for Apple. Now, there has been some to and fro between these companies in recent quarters. When Apple launched the iPhone 5, obviously that gave it a boost. But this launch tonight could mean a lot to Apple in terms of the competitive pressures, particularly in the window before we see the next version of the iPhone 5, maybe an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6. So there could be a few months here where Samsung can really go at Apple.
Now, there are really high expectations for this Galaxy S4. So what sort of challenges does Samsung face?
There are quite a few out there. Some experts like the Street's Anton Wallman have warned that maybe, just maybe, the S4's software won't be on a par with its excellent hardware. I also think there's an issue here as well that the expectations are higher from Samsung now. As I say, I've had some of these phones myself. They're excellent. And with those higher expectations come bigger pressures. So consumers are going to be looking for the next big thing constantly. We've seen how Apple has had to deal with that in the last few years. Now Samsung's probably going to have to step up its game as well.
Well, like you said, you'll be at the event and covering it, so stay tuned to The Street for more on Samsung.